Niger Delta region, sitting directly on the Gulf of Guinea, on the Atlantic Ocean of Nigeria. Creeks bonded by mangroves, and from the bowels, about 2.1 million barrels of crude oil produced daily, with an estimated population of 31 million people in 9 states. Informed by the stark realities of life, occasioned by the obscure nature, selected rural communities in the Niger Delta are among many others throughout the country benefiting from an interventionist program of the Federal Project Support Unit. The unit is working with the state governments with the support of the World Bank to build bridges of infrastructure to connect the rural communities, particularly the hard-to-reach settlements.
CSDP started in 2009, so we have over 10 years of existence. Over this period, we have intervened in 29 states and FCT. Fund expended is over 90 billion naira, and the projects we have supported in all these 29 state plus FCT are in excess of 17,000. We have about 4,500 micro projects supported in the area of the water sector, 3,400 in education, about 1,900 in health services provision for poor communities. We have impacted on about 23 million Nigerians population. Yes, we have done our best, but as we have always said, the fight against poverty is multifarious, it's multifaceted. What we have been able to do is for me, a tip of the iceberg.
Being one of the pioneer projects within the space that's done quite well in laying the structures and the foundation and the systems, but also the learning that subsequent programs will build upon to ensure that we lift 100 million people out of poverty in the next 10 years.
The CSDP, it's a mechanism that puts the poor and the vulnerable at the driver's seat. They are the ones who know more than anybody else what exactly is needed and how to actually resolve the constraint. So the CSDP program has given them so much power over their own fate, which is actually what all over the world seems to be the most effective and, of course, the most efficient way of tackling poverty.
Community and social development project in Bayelsa State, for instance. Close to 200 micro projects have brought a ray of hope and sense of belonging. Elemebre, in Sagbama local government area of Bayelsa State, lies lonely at the bank of River and Edo. It falls within the freshwater swamp belt of the Niger Delta. The people, who are subsistent farmers and fishermen, enjoy the predominantly riverine environment. However, this same environment, which allows for extensive fishing, also creates laborious landscape for other activities. The answer is the construction of a landing jetty. This was made possible by the Community and Social Development Project, along with a town hall in the community.
Would they like now canoe now under this size? Now would they put canoe? We're gonna do this bridge everywhere. Now good now, Abi. Mama like them.
Especially during the rainy season, cannot access the water side here. It was very difficult. Like this mama now, she can come down easily to fetch water. Though because of her age, she's getting it difficult somehow. But anyway, it's by far better as this staircase was constructed.
The Community and Social Development Program, which is built on a community-driven development approach, has proven itself in Nigeria to be the right tool, the right mechanism, the right paradigm that can actually help to to a lot of extent, resolve the poverty situation.
In Kolokomo Opokuma local government area of Bayelsa State, befitting town halls, concrete walkways, and mini water projects are common sights.
So we are in need of internal concrete walkway. So we used to follow this the way we follow down to our community. So it was too far. So we said, since Community and Social Development Agencies in Bayelsa State, let's go and apply for projects. So we applied. Then they now granted us the project. So we first of all constructed this walkway, which is 450 meters thereabouts or thereabouts. So we can follow this way down to our community very easily, not to turn from another community to our place again. So that is how we applied before they gave us the project. Yeah. So even the water project, after constructing this one, we now get into the second project, which is the water project. So we achieve it by the grace of God with the help of Community and Social Development Agency by Bayelsa State. So that is how we applied and then achieve the project.
Before, this road is very bad, but for now, the road is so good, so solid, and we are enjoying the road. And I can make up to 3,000 or 4,000 a day.
In terms of town hall, this community has been yearning for this project for a very long time. We actually bought land somewhere else, but the funds to organize such a befitting structure, all efforts proved abortive, so there is nothing we can do. Not until we heard about Community and Social Development Agency in the States. So we have to write to them. As we write to them, they graciously approved our application. And before then, when this town hall was not in this form, we used to gather in the eldest man's house, the eldest man in this community. So when we now came up with this project, it took us less than 6 months to build this structure. As the funds came into our hand, it took us less than 6 months. The management staffs have to commend the CSDP Bayelsa State for prudent management of funds. If they adopt this approach in whatever project they are doing, in terms of supervision and all the rest, I think we will move somewhere.
Solar-powered street light health centers in Yenagua local government area have renewed the hopes of these rural dwellers.
Before this time, we might follow river to Yenagua. So sometimes before we go through, we might even lose the soul. But now that the health center is here, any little thing, we come to the health center. Before, if it is more than here, then we can go out. But certain times we end here. So from the existence of this health center, I think the rate of sickness too has decreased. And the way of we having the fear if somebody is sick, we no longer panic because we know that we have a doctor here which we can run to help us out.
The solar light have helped the community in a very long way because in terms of criminality, young boys who are into social vices will not want to carry out their nefarious activities in the broad daylight most of the times because the fear of the police will apprehend them. So they usually carry out their nefarious activities in the night. And now the community is being illuminated by the solar light. So in terms of security, it has reduced drastically to the barest minimum.
CSD has impacted positively on the rural areas. One, because most of the communities, the jobs were initiated by the communities itself. And since it came from them, the CSD actually carried out the project based on their recommendation from the communities. So especially the rural areas, the benefits are enormous.
Normally, we have what we call community development plans. And part of what is there is the sustainability aspect of the project, which is the communities that come up with ways they think they can sustain the project. So already the plan is there, and the project is theirs. They own the project. So they have formed, there are committees formed in each of these local governments, each of these communities. sustainability maintenance committee in each of these communities that is in charge of maintaining this project. And the CDC too, we have community development committee, that's what they call it in our own communities, are also part of it. So the communities are aware that since it's their project, they have to sustain it. What?
16 communities, among which is Emereoke in Eastern Obolo local government area of the state, have been assisted by the CSDP. Additional school blocks were built to enhance school attendance and retention.
Welcome to you. We appreciate your coming. Welcome to this great migrant school.
Song of Freedom, the feeling shared from the success story of the CSDP in most localities in Akwa Ibom State.
When we consider the memory lane about education in this community, it was nothing to write home about. Over the years, it was only primary 1 to 6. It's only those that were very rich that were able to send their children to other communities where they have secondary school to continue their education. So we are very grateful that you have come very timely to rescue us so that the education system in this community will continue to grow. Since the coming of this secondary school in this place, students have been gaining admission to university.
Stigmatization and discrimination palpable at Akwa Ibom leprosy colony in Ekbene Obom, Itinan local government area of Akwa Ibom State. Respite has however come. A borehole standing tall, lock-up store, bus, clutches, prosthetics and drugs provided in this hard-to-reach colony, courtesy of the World Bank and Akwa Ibom State government-sponsored CSDP.
You know, before, it be hard for we to take too much for we to get water drink. If you sleep there with the first water, there is an adult that they sleep there. But along the line, God touches people's hearts until they reach us. They don't change our life, and our life don't better. You see how water they run? At times, they put them for bottle, it's not bottle water, where we see for TV. It don't enter our body. And this place, now leprous people, then they, you know what is being leprosy? That you are the most least privileged person in society. Some of people here, they don't stay over 20, 30 years. Family, they don't even look to them. Some of them they go beg for outside. At times, some people will get better heart, they bring food, they can't share for people. But now when this thing not going to happen, it don't change our life, pata. I say, may God bless everybody. But you can't do this thing for us.
Many people who do not have artificial limb, through this organization, we have it. A lot of people who do not have crutches, they have it. And also, we have a bus. We used to make our yawning to be smooth. Now, through the help of this organization, may us to achieve all those I'm trying to mention now. Now we have a store which is over there. So the store really helps us. So the organization helps us a lot.
the people of Etiekbe in any local government area, dancing to the glory of the new market stalls, public conveniences, and electrification projects.
Somebody introduced me to this project. We registered it in 2017 at about with the state. We sent a letter of expression of interest. Within that year, we started the project. God granted it to us before the market that you can see. Seeing is believing. So I appreciate God, I appreciate the World Bank, I appreciate the Akwa Ibom State Agency.
CSDP, we welcome you. CSDP, oh, we welcome.
While students of the Igbo too celebrate their new school building.
When we come to school and it was raining, we have to go back home because we'll not be able to stay. But now, CSDP has renovated the block. We now enjoy it. Even though there's raining, we have no problem.
Before we suffer a lot in the school. There was no accommodation for the people, for the students, both from SS1 to SS3. There was no school building. Not until the villagers, we ordered the principal to carry the people to the primary school. When they took the students to the primary school, there was no enough accommodation for the two secondary and the primary. Some of them stay under the mango tree outside. Then you come in and do this, what you have done to us. And that's why I say you have done noble.
Here at Ikbo Iman Iset Iket Social Club, a group of widows got lock-up shops while the youths are empowered with tricycles. Akwa Ibom State has 419 CSDP projects valued at more than 1.4 billion naira, cutting across 7 sectors.
It is a very strong vehicle for the development of our rural communities. And I believe the approach adopted, which is community-driven development, where the community, they have a choice to choose exactly what their needs are. And then on the basis of that, the program intervenes. And then there wouldn't be any other approach better than that, because in life, when people get what is of priority to them, is more beneficial than just giving them something that is not a priority. So I believe the approach that has been adopted by the program has made it a very huge success. And in our state here, the various communities that have benefited, they have expressed appreciation to Akwa Ibom State Government and the World Bank for the collaboration that has resulted in them being able, through the program.
It's a strategy by the Akwa Ibom State Government to actualize its own policy objectives. Because during the first term of our present governor, he put forward 5-point agenda of job creation, wealth creation, poverty alleviation, political and economic inclusion, and infrastructural consolidation. This project has, to a very large extent, led to the actualization of this at the rural communities. And also, during his second term, he put forward the 8-point agenda, which CSDP had addressed 3 out of it, of rural and riverine area development, human capital development, as well as infrastructural development. So, from that perspective of working indirectly from the government, it goes down to the communities. Because government has shown so much support on the program, the community really have enjoyed so much. So those we are interacting with, the community that we are dealing with, the stakeholders there, they quite appreciate the program.
Benin, Edo State, a beautiful city. A city also extending its beauty to the hinterland and the vulnerable using the CSDP vehicle.
Four, 34, space, A-R.
They can't see, but can operate the computer, courtesy of the Edo State CSDP. This Skills Acquisition Center, persons with special needs, has brought smile to Itato sorrowful faces.
Yes, apart from this computer center, which actually was built from the scratch, it's a brand new hall and furnished by the CSDP, there's actually a borehole and a 6.5 kVA generator that was also provided. Visually impaired persons that will use this center may have problem coming because we have mobility problem coming from home. So there is a 10-room accommodation that has been provided that is undergoing construction, and that facility has the capacity to house 20 students of the center per time. The understanding is they will take turn, that means in a year, this center should be able to train over 60 persons with disabilities in a program that spans 3 months, and they will be residing in the hostel that is presently undergoing construction.
And the first in the South-South?
This is the first in Edo Delta and indeed the South-South. People that need to acquire the knowledge before now have to travel away from the state to Lagos, to Abuja, but now with this, no more. And in fact, people from other states will have to come here to acquire this knowledge.
Progressive Widows Group, an association of 41 members in Eloshi community in East and Southeast local government area, now proud owner of 5 lockup shops and 75 horsepower speedboat.
We render it to driver, it's paying us monthly. Like now, one month is 30,000. So 4 months we are getting 120,000.
Examination halls, renovation of primary and secondary schools, health centers, markets, mini water schemes, and electrification projects crisscrossing the 18 local government areas of Edo State.
The other building was leaking. We have leaky roof. The building is not good. There is no accommodation there. I stay far from my house to this place is 17 naira, so our flow is 140 daily. And when I come to work, when I close by 4 o'clock, if I have an emergency, I will still come back again. For both nights, I work in the midnight. Even if I have labor case in the midnight, I'll come back and I will sleep there. Since this building, this health center has a staff quarter now, I will move in here. So I can be able to carry my work 24 hours.
I will say very frantically that I appreciate what they have done to alleviate the suffering of the community, and we are now better off.
This is a project very dear to us as a community, because the project was initially built by the Ibilo community, and over the years we saw it go into disuse because it was completely dilapidated. And it was an eyesore to the community. The 2 buildings here, the block of classrooms and this examination hall, became a major source of embarrassment. We sought help until virtually we approached the CSDP Edo State, and happily they acceded to our request for help. And they came through a need assessment and appraisal method. They they helped us to prioritize our need as a community, and eventually we settled for this project.
I'm very happy to be writing my exams in this beautiful and wonderful hall. I was in that class in the year 2015, and I'm so happy that others are not experiencing what I experienced in that class. When the rain is falling, we'll all have to run outside because of the rain. Well, I'm so happy that others are not experiencing that.
And we also thank God for the people that are helping us to complete this building, to renovate it. because the building was dilapidated.
Before this time around, before we can get water before this time around, we have to go to a fast to about 2 kilometers away from this place. As we were coming from Uromi, there is a bridge there. That is the only access we can get water. So if you don't have by, which means you are locked out of the system. But as of today now, with what CSDP has done for us, we are glad and we're happy over it. Exceedingly glad.
Build so many projects through the effort of CSDP. Among them, you have the industrial borehole, functional and functioning industrial borehole. And also you have right here you can see the town hall. As you can see, you have the electricity through the effort of CSDP and C4. And that is 24 hours electricity, no stop. Up there you have the primary school. The primary school, as you can see, is serving 4 communities. Look up there, you see the market. In these communities we are still talking about, this market is to salvage the people of these areas, these communities.
From the exterior, one can tell that this building has stood the test of time. Yes, it was built in the pre-colonial era in Nigeria, that is far back before 1960s, when Nigeria got independence. It is a resettlement where people that were suffering from leprosy come all over the country for treatment. But after a while, this place became non-functional, and those that have been cured of the sickness could not go back to their homes, probably for rejection and discrimination from family members and communities. They became refugees in their homeland. Nowhere to go, no food to eat, no electricity, no pipe-borne water. Later, they applied to CSDP, that is Community and Social Development Project in Edo State. And today, they have gotten a brand new flat comprising a water system, kitchen, as well as even a public convenience. One of them told me he has been here for over 40 years. His dad came here when he was just 3 months.
Some you see the manager, even myself, na farm no say when my father died, there's nobody to train me to go school. Na farm at the manage. Some they do work. Some she can say kukura say me on a take. Even the house, no, I would thank God because this one are vocation. People see they there now. Now God, no fit wait to fit talk. According to wait to take eyes, now God can appreciate them. Now God can greet them.
If you look at all these states that we visited, you will see some level of similarities in the project. That's to tell you that it is the people that are deciding. For example, if you go to the riverine areas, you see them, most of the projects are that has to do with maybe boats and maybe concrete walkways. It goes a long way to say that this project is really empowering the people.
In less than 11 years, Edo CSDP has executed about 500 mini projects in line with the World Bank poverty map.
We have popularized the idea of the community-driven development. It has germinated in the states, and there are some local governments that have even started using the approach in developing communities in their jurisdictions. And we hope that by the time we move to another stage of community intervention, we'll be able to do more in the state. Yeah, along the line, apart from making the community themselves to identify the projects of their priority, we make sure that along the line, before the completion of the project, we have sustainability and maintenance training, which is very compulsory and which we take seriously. But besides, the idea that you have to contribute percentage to the cost of the project in itself is driving the communities and the group to make sure that they own those projects. And the money being expended on those projects, they are grants. So it's just money given to them as their own. So they cherish it and they make sure that they sustain those projects.
In terms of infrastructural space, a lot has been done. Talking about civic center, in terms of education, school blocks, in terms of health centers, in terms of water borehole construction for easy access of clean water to the communities. And we are very, very grateful to particularly the World Bank and other supporting agencies that have been supporting the state through the CSDP. The state government, yes, we've come to realize that without some of this effort by which the type of mechanism being used by the CSDP, which has become a template for some other projects across the state. Because looking at community-driven development, is the need for ownership of those projects is very, very key. And that is where the CSDP comes in. They teach, they mentor the communities to own those projects. And the ownership of projects is very good for sustainability, because without ownership, there will not be sustainability.
Calabar, Cross River State, center of cruising and headquarters of Carnival.
The governor of the state, Senator Professor Benayade, his desire, his intention to see that the poor people in the rural community have access to quality life, have access to social and natural resource infrastructure.
Gladly, the state government is making a case for the well-being of the rural populace. The Cross River State government and the World Bank have invested more than 2.5 billion naira in 859 micro projects in 7 key sectors. For instance, this health center is a brainchild of this partnership, and during our visit, a woman was in labor.
Community supported with the land. Then they build a facility for the community. So you can see we have labor here. They used to travel. The hospital is very far away from here. And the private facility here, they cannot access the price. The price of the private facilities are on the high side. So here, they prefer coming this way. Even though the TBS are there, but we've been trying to sort out this so that they will be able to come in here completely. But most of them, they patronize this place.
CSDP is community driven. Most of these partnerships happen at the level of the community. Most of them are not even reported. We have assisted communities to do health center, to build education facilities. And people have come to recruit teachers. People in the community have come to recruit teachers, buy drugs in those clinics. So multitude of this is going on. It is of interest for us to know where they are happening. But the fact that these facilities 10 years on are still being sustained with the resources of local government and some private philanthropists individuals who are coming to assist is a testament to the fact that indeed this partnership is working and people are deriving benefits from it.
There are several such agencies supporting. You have the National Director of Employment, you have the SMIDAN, the small and medium scale industry enterprises, you have the World Bank initiative of the Bank of Industry, you have the initiative of Bank of Agriculture, you have initiatives of the Central Bank of Nigeria in farmers loans and small scale. You have also other programs of government like the JEEP program, the Empower program, you have the cash transfer and other programs of government that would need to come together holistically to be able to lift. It is not going to be a one-size-fits-all kind of strategy, but there has to be contributions from different players and different sectors to come together to lift people out of poverty.
As
acid what? Change or turns blue, yellow number what? Red. Yeah, so we are going to see the titration. How it led, change the color, okay? Yes. We thank the governor of this state, Senator Ben Ayade, and also the CSDP agency. Yes, I have been a tutor here for the past 5 years. Yes, teach chemistry and physics. And the students here have been of good behavior.
I'm very happy. I don't know how to thank them that I'll be satisfied. Before we don't have this kind of lab, but now I'm very happy that we have it. Because if we don't have this lab, I don't know where people will go to. That I don't know how they will teach them before they will become a medical doctor. But I'm very happy that they gave us this great opportunity that a school of Access Community Secondary School have the greatest lab around this area.
Solar-powered boreholes and renovated schools brighten the looks of the rural child in Cross River State.
The few ongoing macro projects we are very optimistic will be completed on or before the end of September.
Group, Progressive Widows Group, and a situation of 41 community in Eastern Southeast local government area, now proud owner of 5 lockup shops and 7 boat.
We render it to the driver. He's paying us monthly. Like now, one month is 30,000. So 4 months we are getting 120,000.
We have water. Our water is very far from us. At times, especially when the rainy season, especially in dry season, we used to dig ground and water come out. We used to drink. That is very bad water. We just manage, but since they bring this water, we enjoy it.
The level of our interface with the poor communities, because the way the structure of the CSDP is, at the federal level, we provide technical support. Most of the job is done at the local government level and at the community level. The state agencies warehouse the resources, okay? But the real issue, the real partnership, the real collaboration is built by the MDAs at the state level and the community project management committees themselves. And of course, the CDA, the Community Development Association. So there's a lot of work, a lot of partnership, a lot of support happening at that level, okay? And when you look at it, we are intervening about 5,800 communities spread across the 29 states plus FCT. So it's very, very huge.
For us in Cross River State, anything that works, we don't trade away. Rather, we try to see how we can add value to it. And it is the part of the policy and cardinal objective of this administration is to ensure that rural communities are being upgraded to the standard which they have never seen before. And by doing that, anything that will make us see how we can leverage on that, we do. And that's why we're so, keyed into this World Bank, project on DSPs and community development project across the state to ensure that we use that to drive part of the state government agenda. So it's something which we take very seriously, and it's something because you can't rule out the fact that at the community level, when the people have something to engage themselves, when the people have something which they can do that could translate into meaningful employment, then the wealth of the state also invariably improves and increases. And of course, we know that this itself is something that has shot up the rating of Cross River State. But beyond that, why this project will have to be sustained is that as if the projects we were doing before, as if we had conceived doing them, knowing fully well that there will be a coronavirus, we never knew. But I could tell you that this project, all of them scattered across all the 18 local governments, they have been a source of blessing for us in this pandemic. Is it the borehole that we've installed, which, of course, washing of hands is a key necessity these days, where you must constantly wash the hand? It has come to play a major role. Is it the health post? Most of our health posts, not by design or was it deliberate, but somehow most of the IDP camps are located around there. And they have also been able to serve as a source of bridging that gap for serving that community rural health, which the people so dearly need at this pandemic time. So why wouldn't we support this? There is no area which you can not say that is not viable. Is it the school, the classroom blocks? The school enrollment has tremendously increased. So these things, I would say that it was a blessing in disguise for us, because it was as if we putting our infrastructure where they needed to be, knowing that there will be a rainy day for it. And that rainy day has come and is serving those things.
We have a lot of micro projects ongoing, and it's actually many times community-driven, community-directed development approach. And what do I mean? The community has ownership of the project. And we go to these communities, we make sure that it is their felt need, not a perceived need of them. So it means that we are going to these communities, we're asking them what they really want. So they have that high sense of ownership of any project that comes. And it also helps to engender sustainability of those projects. So I think overall, these projects, if we want to evaluate it, in Cross River State, they've really done well. And of course, Cross River State has already taken steps. In our budget, we've already budgeted for the CSDP program. And I put it to you that even as we speak, we have ongoing projects. And we are still going for a flag off of a project, flag off to start. It means that we're already thinking ahead. The Cross River State government is thinking ahead. And we have already set aside funds for this. We've already engaged communities. We already have a long list of communities that the government hopes to carry out this, have this micro project situated in.
CSDP, which has always been there, providing those kind of learnings in terms of community structures and community groups, in terms of state and local government structures, giving a firm base for which social safety nets programs to build on. It's the step in the right direction, and I say social safety nets programs perhaps are the most rewarding strategies of all in lifting the 100 million people out of poverty.
Only Bayelsa, Edo, Akwa Ibom, and Cross River states keyed into the CSDP. A new project, the CARES, is expected to take off soon. Those who have tasted the CSDP are already warming up.
And I think I must say congratulations to the CSDP Federal Project Support Unit for actually going to be the national unit for CARES. We are doing everything possible. The state government is doing everything possible for us to key in, because we know that all states are eligible, but many times not all states are able to meet up the criteria.
Bayelsa State is very ready, especially with this new government. We are very ready to take off. For the accommodation, it's already been handled. Then the staff, as I really mentioned, we're pulling most of them from the civil service, which are already trained. Then the aspect of the funding, I think the budget aspect has been taken care of, because what they've done, we can't even quantify it, because they're affecting positively on the lives of the Bayelsa citizens.
I want to say that we are very prepared. I am the team leader of the state for the CARE program. And it's a very, very intensive program. A lot of meetings with the World Bank. And as a state, just like you have seen in the implementation of this program, we always want to be up there. And we've been able to do what is expected of us, with a view to ensuring that by the time the funds is available for drawdown, that will benefit.
We are also grateful that the new project that is coming, we have also taken cognizance of the fact that CSDP is one of the agencies that will be used to implement the CARES program.
During NCARES preparation, We asked states to identify platforms that they will want to use to respond to the needs of the poor. 15 states immediately said, all the things we want to do about the poor, we would like the CSDA to take the front row. Because, why? Because the CSDA is using a CDD approach. Because the CSDA is directly working with the poor and vulnerable, working with the community people. And the state government see this. They see what it has delivered over the years and say that is our right foot that we want to put forward.
As they prepare for the next project, Adewale Fabowale, the head of operations of the Federal Projects Support Unit of the CSDP, had a chat with the stakeholders in Calabar, Cross River State.
It gladdens my heart to inform you here that we have implemented 17,048 micro projects up to date. That the community participating on this project is precisely 4,300 communities all over the country. And the number of local government participating is 558 local governments.
The beauty of the Nigerian CARES program is that it is building on existing World Bank assisted interventions. Okay? As you are aware, the federal government has launched the national cash transfer, and this is ongoing. We are just about rounding up CSDP, which is ongoing. There's also the Youth Employment and Social Support Operation, YESU, which is also a project that I just closed, okay? It anchors the public workfare program of the federal government and the state. We also have the Fadama program project, the National Fadama Development project, which has also ended. Then we have some other projects like the Bank of Industry, the JEEP program under the Bank of Industry, the GEM program under the Ministry of Industry, Trade and Investment, and some other World Bank programs that have ended, even the C4. So all these programs are coalesced, okay, to continue to function, to do what they have been doing, and they have been doing very well, and maybe with even more resources.
What is coming under CARES is huge. It has never been like that before. And it's coming as an emergency. It's coming to be done in 2 years. Each state will have about 1 billion of resources from the international agencies added to the little that they have to be able to respond to the poor. And 80% of this amount of resources, we expect it to go directly to the poor. And that's why the CDD mechanism under the CSDP is actually the most appropriate at this point in time.
CARES is an emergency intervention of 2 years, basically, to support the country in its immediate relief efforts, but also the recovery period. Now, it will lay some of the basic foundation from where the country would learn from in terms of future crises to be able to support, but it will also provide some livelihoods to most affected persons to help them live them out of poverty occasioned by the crisis that we're currently in. The government has worked very closely with the bank. We are at the planning stage of NCARES starting. Hopefully, we should be able to start early next year, in the first quarter of next year, and we're looking forward to it.
It was indeed an engaging moment for the officials of the Community and Social Development Project going to the interlands to see the level of poverty in some of those communities and the positive impact the program has brought.